Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to another live rendition of This Is Tom's World. Um, just hanging out tonight. Want to see if I have any suggestions from the audience on places to go within the far northeast local area, places to make a video because I do intend on making a video tomorrow, and I would like for it to be. Sorry, I'm wiping my eye. Had a little problem in the in the last few days with work. Apparently, allergies are kicking in, and I've also gotten some kind of bumpy stuff going on my arms. I don't know if it's poison ivy. I don't know if it's just a reaction to being out in the sun um, on an extensive basis for the first time in a while. I don't know what's going on, but I've been putting cortisone on regularly, so no worries on that. But like my eyes have also been watering quite a bit, so I'm kind of wiping them a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, tonight what I want to do is I want to have anybody give me suggestions, and I'm gonna write down every suggestion I get of places within the far northeast area for me to do videos in, I don't want it to be just like a wooded area. You know what I mean? Like if anybody knows of any place that's not private property or anything like that, that where I could just go and there's something historical there, something I can look up and make some notes on in the morning and go out. Another thing you might notice is this up here. Um, hey Chris, how you doing? Excuse me. I'm having a little bit of a episode of the burps tonight because I'm having a couple beers. It's the end of my week. Today was my last day of the week. I am working this Saturday, which is unusual for me to work on a Saturday, but I'm doing that for a coworker, an older gentleman that I work with, Jack. He's going away for the weekend. He needed me to work for him, so he's going to work for me Monday. So I get off tomorrow and I get off Monday, but I'll be working Saturday and Sunday. Um, Even people that don't have allergies this year. I've been suffering for 3 weeks. Yeah, I have allergies pretty much all year round. Anytime the weather changes, anytime the pollen count goes up, I mean, like I just have so many different types of allergies going on. So it's pretty much throughout the year. I'm dealing with some kind of congestion or something like that. You can actually hear it in my voice. There we go. Cleared out a little bit. But yeah, so you might notice that this is new. Usually, when I do my live feeds, it's just like a plain wall. This was made by my sister's stepson and his wife. They're doing some side business, like a little side hustle, where they do some woodworking and stuff like that. And at some point, I will put a link to their Instagram because I think they have an Instagram. I'm gonna have to verify it with my sister. But I'll put a link to it somewhere so that you can reach out to them and have them do some stuff for you. Now, it's weird because it's like it's even got the logo right here. Like when my sister showed me this on Easter when I went and picked it up, I was like just blown away. I was like, wow, look at this. I knew she had a surprise for me, but like, wow. So now I have a background. Let's see. Chris Mallon is messaging like crazy. Let's see what he's saying. Uh, Bernathen College, the old whatever that says, cathedral. It's on 2nd Street Pike. Cool. Hey man, shoot me text or we'll talk on the phone or something. We'll get that going. Um, it's funny that you mentioned the Byberry Friends, and thank you for saying so. I actually just recently, you know what? Now that I have my camera position here, when the messages come up, like you can't see my chin. I have it positioned so you can see this. Anyway, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was just talking with a friend of mine, Lee. He and his girlfriend were over at Neshaminy State Park, and they were going around in the garden. They were sending me pictures and stuff like that, and we were back and forth with voice messages. And I told them to watch that video because, like, I'm very proud of that video because it took me a long time to make that. It's the only documentary type style video that I have, because all my other ones are just like on the fly while I'm there and I'm just talking. I might have some like notes and stuff like that, my little cheat sheets, as I call them. But that one I actually spent time, and I employed the help of a friend of mine, Otis, he has a very deep voice and everything, and it's very good for narration. So I employed the help of him for that. I sent him text files to read, and he sent me back the audio files, and between the two of us, we edited it and everything, and it turned out great. And I'm very proud of that video. So anybody that's watching this right now, if you have not seen my video on the Byberry Friends Meeting House, when this video is over, when this live feed is over, go back and watch that. It's quite informative, and if you're from the area or even somewhere in the area, or you've passed by Thornton and Byberry roads, and you've seen that wall right there, right going along Byberry Road, and you always wondered what that was, watch that video. Very informative. We go into the history of all of it. Byberry Hall, which was big during the abolition movement and everything. So, I mean, at some point, I would like to get further into detail about Byberry Hall and the gentleman that which his name escapes me right now, but the gentleman that had to do with that. I would love to delve into that history and make another video of that. But let me catch up on comments here. I'm sure I would. I'm sure I would. I have gotten a lot of suggestions of places to go. And Chris, if you know about that, you could be in another video of mine, because we'll go along together and you can show me what you know. Cool. Let's see. Stepfather was a stonemason. He did restoration work on the building in the early 90s. That would be cool, man, because if I do go there, I'll put like something up on my community tab on YouTube, and I'll say that I'm going there. And if you see that, Chris, then send me the pictures you have, because I will use them in the video. How about the history? The area of Philo Mall? You mean Philadelphia Mills? Well, I mean, nobody from the area calls it Philadelphia Mills. We all call it Franklin Mills. It will always be Franklin Mills. But if that's what you mean, let me know if that's it, because I have done some videos around the Philadelphia Mills Mall. Well, I'm usually off Saturdays, Chris. Just this weekend excluded. I explained in the beginning of this video that I will be working this Saturday, and I normally work Sunday to Thursday. But I'll be working for one of my coworkers because he has to go away. So I'll be filling in for him on Saturday, and then he's going to take my Monday. So I get off tomorrow, and then I get off Monday. So it won't be this week, but possibly next week. We can meet up and we can go there. Before Liberty Bell Racetrack. Wow, before Liberty Bell Racetrack. Well, I can tell you that I know before Liberty Bell Racetrack, behind what is now the mall, the wooded area there, across Pequesson Creek, there is an area called Dinosaur Lake, and I've done extensive videos on Dinosaur Lake. I did one early on in my YouTube, like back in 2020. Where I went into the history of it, and that video has over 5,000 views right now. But I've done a lot of videos since then, just updating on the lake itself. And currently, there is no lake. There was a wall between Dinosaur Lake and Pequesson Creek, which actually blew out during the tornadoes that we had back in 2021. I think it was August of 2021, and it drained the lake. So I have kind of gone into the history before the racetrack there a little bit. I don't know what was actually on the land before that, but I know from Pequesson Creek back, like what is now the Bensalem Country Club or whatever it's called, that has a golf course. I know that that was all land that was owned by a guy named Standish Ford Hansel, who also had a hand in making the one bar that was back there called the Barn. And if you went there at all to the barn, then you knew that they had this like really, really old fire truck there off to the side. That was what originally he wanted to put on the island that became Dinosaur Lake. His original idea was to drive that old fire truck out to the middle of the field and then dig a lake around it so that fire truck was on an island, so that if anybody ever asked, how did it get there or why is it there, he said, so just make people wonder how it got there. But he changed his mind and he built the lake first with the island, and then had dinosaurs made out of mesh and wood and stuff, and used concrete, and they were there for a long time. But now the only thing that's really left are the feet of some of the feet of the dinosaurs. But you can go back and watch in my videos. There is a playlist. So if you go to my channel and you see the stuff, the menus up top, and you click playlist, you'll see the life and death of Dinosaur Lake. And you can go scroll down to the first video and then watch it in succession to see how it progressed. Because I did have quite a few videos that I went there where the lake was still there. Including the first video I did where I went into the history. But in the last like 2 or 3 videos, oh, Dom, stop. And I knew it was you. And so that call was from my partner in crime there. We have our own little network, I guess you could call it, on Facebook and YouTube. We call it BB3 TV. We have different various shows that are going on there. We're a variety network, and most of the shows that are on right now are paranormal related, but we're trying to make it more even keel and get some more variety stuff on there. It's just going to take some time. And he did say that he would be calling me during my show, and he did. He's just not commenting because, whatever. Let's see. Groudon Mansion. I definitely want to get in there. Now that subject in particular. So when I started going to Neshaminy State Park, Serobia Garden, which I have a playlist for that as well on my channel, and you can see the progress of me becoming a volunteer and digging out all the brick paths and everything like that. I started going there for information to the Bensalem Historical Society, and these are the people that pretty much run Groudon Mansion. Now, there was a post that happened within the Bensalem Historical Society's Facebook page of a different place, and I said I'm still itching to get into Groudon Mansion, and then somebody said, "Well, you do know that's privately owned, and you're not going to get in there without permission from the owner, and blah blah blah." But I know these people run it. So I have gone to them multiple times and told them. There's one particular woman, Sally, that I talked to from there, and I've told her that I would like to get in there. But they've been doing a lot of work on the place, like with the roof and this and that, so it's not been possible. The main reason I want to get in there, also it's mostly for the historical value, but in the dining room in Groudon Mansion, the dining room set that they have. It's the same dining room set that they had over in Serobia in Neshaminy State Park, Robert Logan's house. And I would just love to get in there and just be able to like touch it and like, kind of physically connect with the history and stuff. And I definitely want to get in there. So I'm just waiting on them to finish up whatever fixes need to be done in the house, and hopefully I'll get in there. But Groudon Mansion has been on my radar for a long time. Behind Benjamin Rush School, there was a quarry. You mean Benjamin Rush Middle School or elementary school? Most of the info that I found from for Dinosaur Lake was also from the Ben Salem Historical Society. So if it's anywhere in Ben Salem and you're looking for info, you can go to their webpage and it'll list what hours they're open, and you can just walk in and ask for the information. They'll provide it for you. They'll even make copies for you if need be. But yeah, I mean, there's even a complete manifesto of everything that they found in Sorobia Garden, like in the mansion, in the barn, like everything, like, and where it went and all that. And a lot of it went to Washington Crossing State Park. And then from there, when you go to ask them, they're like, we don't have it here. We don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. Like, I got a feeling that somewhere in Washington State Crossing Park, there's a building and they have a bunch of stuff from Sorovia. And they're just, like maybe most of the employees don't know about it. So they just say, yeah, no, it's not here. But I got a feeling it's there. Picture sent. All right, cool. I'll look at them. Chris. What's up, Dom? It's nice of you to join us instead of trying to call me while I'm doing my live. Middle school. Okay. So behind Benjamin Rush Middle School, which I can actually see from this window here in this room, I know it goes downhill, and then you have the football field and the track there. So it's entirely possible that could have been a quarry at some point, just based on the shape of things. But it's really hard to say. he said, "Touch it." Damn it, Beavis, shut the hell up. Anyway, little impressions there. Been doing impressions all day. But yeah, behind Benjamin Rush Middle School. Well, it used to be middle school. Now it's high school. Benjamin Rush Performing Arts School or something like that. And like when I went to school in the area, so you had Fitzpatrick, which went from kindergarten to 5th grade. And then you had Benjamin Rush Middle School, which went from 6th to 8th grade. And then you moved on to your high school. So whether it be Ryan or Washington or whatever. I personally went to Washington. Well, all right, let me rephrase that. I was enrolled at Washington. I didn't go to Washington. I was one of the kids that was just hanging down at the tracks and just like kind of cut school. And then eventually that got me caught. My mom talked to the counselor there, and the counselor recommended that I go to Shallcross, which is what I wound up going to, which is also local. Like I can walk to it. And that actually turned out to be the best school that I went to at all. I mean, I had the best teacher there. We called him Doc. His name is Richard J. Janad. He has a doctorate, so that's why we called him Doc. And man, was he great. And that school was great. I mean, they actually cared about the students. And if somebody didn't show up, well, then the teachers paired up. They started talking to all your friends, found out where all your hangouts went out, found you, brought you back. And if you were a guy, you were doing push-ups until your arms were falling off, because most of them were like ex-Marines and stuff like that. But all in all, it was a great school, and it taught you how to respect life, really. So let's see what else we got going on here. Lee Gordon, what's up, my brother? Yeah, I did. If I wasn't in the courtyard just hanging out for lunch, you know where I was. I was down at the tracks. Your ex lived on Fairdale. All right, so not too far from me. I mean, I'm like right around like the Knights Woodhaven area, we'll say. Not far from Franklin Mills, and also not far from, obviously, since I stated, not far from like Benjamin Rush and stuff. So, yeah, I'm in the area. My hair is like out of control right now. It's getting so long. Yes, I'm having a beer. It's the end of my week. This is my Friday. Oh, it was, Lee. You know that. You may not have been part of us like cutting and everything, but you were there. Oh Christ, this guy. He thinks I look like Kenny Powers. What is the actor's name? Let me look him up real quick. So Danny McBride. When Danny McBride does a character where he has like long hair in the back, this guy thinks I look like him. What's up, Darren? How you doing, brother? Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Sorry for the congestion. It is that time of year. I mean, I get allergies all year long whenever the weather changes, stuff like that. But I don't think you ever picked me up at the tracks. I mean, maybe you did. No. By the time I met you, I think I was out of Washington. I did go back for a very, very brief period of time. I was in Washington for ninth grade, or half of ninth grade, and then I went to Shallcross, and I was there for the last half of ninth grade and all of 10th grade, and then excuse me, and then in 11th grade, they sent me back to Washington, and I just fell right back into my old habits, and my parents decided to put me into student ed. Now, for those of you not familiar with what student ed is, it was out on Bustleton Ave. It was Delaware Valley Student Education Center, and it was a private school, and you paid to go there, and you got 2 school years into one. So they jammed it all into that little time period. So I actually graduated 6 months early. So because of that, I know all about being tired, man. I mean, maybe it doesn't come through right now. I know that my lighting is a lot brighter than it normally is. But the only reason for that was so that I could display this thing. But I am very, 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 very tired. Oh, cool. Well, I may have known her. I can't say I remember the staff in the lunchroom. Mostly when we had lunch in the lunchroom, it was like social hour kind of, you know what I mean? And it was like everybody being in their own little groups and looking at other people and being like, and this one, that one, like, you know, like how high school is. Yeah. There is actually a gentleman who has contacted me and who does regularly comment on my lives. He's not here right now. His name is Rich, and he has talked about that little neighborhood that was in the airport, or where the airport is now. Like, part of those roads are still there. Some of them are on the outside of the fence of the airport. Some of them are on the inside. This guy has a binder this thick with information about that neighborhood. He lived there when he was a kid. And I see him multiple times over at Neshaminy State Park. He stops by and we talk for a little bit. Really? You did pick me up? All right. Well, I'll believe you. Hey, look, you know, it is coming back. Just a little. So far, this has been no haircut since July. So, I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to get like the dead ends and split ends cut off. Otherwise, it won't grow anymore. Probably soon. But yeah, it's coming back. I have not walked the Pennypack bike trail just yet. Most of the reason why I have not done that is, well, one, it's a long walk, but two, I'm giving leeway to a fellow local YouTuber, the Philly Captain. He often goes to Pennypack and stuff, and I don't want to infringe on his videos. So I tend to try to not go where he has gone. I mean, sometimes it happens that our videos cross paths. He's been at Neshaminy State Park a few times. We've both been to Glen Ford. You know, there's a handful of videos where we've both done them. But I try to keep mine my own. You know what I mean? So eventually, I'll get into Pennypack. I mean, Pennypack is a big, big park. I mean, I've been at the beginning of Penny down by the Delaware. Like, so there's Pennypack on the Delaware, and there's an abandoned boat there, so you can check that video out. I've done that one, but I haven't gone into the heart of Pennypack. No, I'm not. I'm 48 years old, so no, I'm not getting any younger. Oh, Cruise Town. I'm like, what the heck is Cree Wow? Wow, however you say that. Let me check real quick. I just got a message came in on my messenger from my goddess. And let me answer her. There we go. So another thing that I don't think I have mentioned since I started, in addition to this, so this is new. Another thing that has happened, and if you're, obviously you're all watching this on YouTube. If you scroll down below the video and you see the description, you might have to click on Show More. You will find a link in there to my merch shop. My merch shop is finally open. It's ready to go. And you can go buy all kinds of merchandise with my logo on it. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, all different kinds of water mugs and just regular coffee mugs, aprons, pillows. I mean, there's phone cases, all kinds of stuff. Right now, there's only the one design. It's just my logo. But I do promise that in time, I'll add other designs and see what sells, what doesn't sell, and stuff like that. But you can now go and check out my merch shop. It's down there. As a matter of fact, I will here. Let me scroll up here. And I will put the link right here in the chat. There you go. So you click on that. That will go to my merchandise shop, and you can purchase anything you want. You don't have to purchase anything. I'm not saying anybody has to, but the option is there. So I've been waiting for this for over a month. I started this. I submitted my W-9, and then 2 weeks went by, and I didn't hear anything. So I emailed them. I said, hey, what's going on? I submitted this thing 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard anything. I got an email back saying, well, it can take up to 3 weeks. Okay. So I waited 3 weeks and 1 day. I emailed them again. I said, listen, it's been 3 weeks and 1 day. Then they said, well, it could take up to 21 business days. Well, that's a lot different than 3 weeks. You're talking like another week at least. So as of today, it was 23 business days since I submitted it, and I still hadn't heard anything. I reached out to them and I said, listen, it's been 23 days. First, I was told 3 weeks. Then I was told 21 business days. I'd like to get my shop going. I would hate to go somewhere else, but if I have to, I will. Well, wouldn't you know it? Within like a half hour, all of a sudden my W-9 was submitted and everything's fine. So now you can go to that link wherever it's showing up for you. And you can click on that. And if you want to buy any of my merchandise, please do. I know I'm going to be buying some of it. I'm going to be buying a hat so that I don't have to worry about my hair getting messed up in the wind and stuff like that. Or I could just go right from work and not have to worry about coming home and taking a shower or something first so I look presentable. I could just take off the work hat and then put that one on because I'm not allowed to wear the work hat or any work gear while I'm making my videos. And everything will be fine. I also want to get some other things. I want to get the pillow that I have. It's like a square pillow that's on there. I think it's really cool. I definitely want that. I want a water jug or a water mug or whatever. Like there's all kinds of things. Yes, and definitely right in here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is because I don't see the same thing you guys see. There's a little thumbs up icon, just like Chris Collins said. Click on that icon. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're commenting in the comments. You can always do a super chat or a super sticker, which you will see down there by the chat. You'll see like a little dollar sign. If you click on that, then you can assign an amount if you want to give money. Nobody has to. I'm just letting you know the options there. And you could do a super chat and it'll come up as a different color in the feed and everything. And then that money will be donated to my channel. You can also do that on any video of mine too. So on any video of mine, it's like somewhere like right around here, there's like a button that says thanks, and it's got a dollar sign on it. I think it has a dollar sign, but it says thanks. And you can click on that and you can donate money that way as well. So I'm always looking for money to be donated to my channel so that I can make the videos better. I can get better equipment over time. I'd like to get a GoPro so that I can have that and still have my phone to look up information, so I don't have to write everything down when I have my cheat sheets. So yeah. What is up, Morpheus One? How are you? Hope you're doing well tonight. Another little swig off of my beer. So what else is there to tell? So yeah, obviously my merch shop is open. It's in the description below here. Super chats over here. Super chats, super stickers, super thanks is down here. I'm monetized now, which is awesome. It only took three years and 4 months, but here I am. I'm at over 1,500 subscribers, which totally blows my mind. It really does. That there are 1,500 people that enjoy watching my videos enough to subscribe to my channel, and I'm humbled by that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was over in Nick's Roast Beef over in Franklin Mills. I was there with my goddess, and we were hanging out. And on my way out, somebody stopped me and said, "Hey, I'm a subscriber." Now, I was feeling pretty good at that point. I'm not going to lie. I had quite a few beers, and I just pat him on the back. I'm like, "Man, thank you so much. I love all my subscribers, and I thank you for being one of them." And I love that. I mean, yeah, it makes my head swell to be like this big. I can't describe it really, but that's not why I do this. It's not for the recognition. Most of the reason why I do all this stuff is to preserve stuff on video, stuff that may not be there in years to come, so that it's out there on the internet and people can see it. Like Dinosaur Lake. Dinosaur Lake, gone. It's all, well, it's not all dried up, but most of it is dried up. There's not really much of anything left. And I actually am privileged enough to have videos of it when it was still a lake, and have the history and stuff like that. Well, you can donate a beer by being in person. And I'm just saying. There's a graveyard in Bensalem off of Bristol Pike between the Chamonix Creek and 95. It's tiny. Supposedly the graves go back. Are you talking about the graveyard in Cornwall Heights? It's like say you were coming from, I don't know, say you were coming from Street Road down towards Philly. It would be on the right side, and it's got a stone wall going around it. Is that the graveyard you're talking about? Because I have recently been asked about that. Again, I've been asked about it a couple times. The problem with that is that there's signs on it that indicate like no trespassing or something like that. And I won't trespass in my videos. If I have permission to go on there, that's a totally different thing. I just don't know who to like reach out to and get the permission. Yeah, I mean, you can easily get in there. The wall is only like maybe 3 feet high, maybe 2.5 feet high in some spots, so you can easily get into it. But I don't want to trespass because I don't do that in any of my videos, because I've watched other YouTubers where it has come back to burn them in the end. So I don't want to do that. Now, if I was a YouTuber that didn't show my face, that'd be a different story, because then they'd have no link to me. But my face is obviously in the beginning of every video I've done. And it used to be in my old videos that my face was in the beginning and end of all my videos. So they could easily track me with that. So probably not the same one. It's south of Street Road. Oh, north of Street Road. It's like the only other graveyard I can think of north of Street Road is up in Croydon, right near the bowling alley, and that's like a completely open cemetery. Is that the one you're talking about? So like, there's the train tracks on one side of Bristol Pike, and then the graveyards on the other side. There definitely is a lot of old graveyards. I mean, Bensalem and far northeast Philly is rich in history. And if you go back and watch some of my videos, and I know, Chris, you have, um, you could see just some of it. And that's just like a little portion of it. There's so much I haven't even discovered yet or touched on, because this area goes back a long, long, long time. And I'm so close to Bensalem that on a windy day, if it's a wind's blowing right, I could probably spit in the Bensalem. I guess Dom just popped in to say hi and he left because he hasn't commented since then. My allergies are killing me. Yep. Yeah. And I did. I mean, as you know, if you're commenting on there, I did go there. That's over on. I mean, that road is considered to be Red Line Road. And here in the far northeast, we have like, I mean, how many Red Line roads do we have? Really? There's got to be at least 4 or 5 of them. But that's back, like, runs parallel to Knights Road, across Knights Road from Jefferson Torresdale campus, which used to be Aria, which used to be Frankford. And that is literally right in there. I mean, all these years I've lived in the area, I never even knew about that. And this goes back to the 1600s, you know. And that guy was John Hart. He was one of the people that actually built the Byberry Friends meeting house, the first one that was there, which was just like a cabin at the time, because the very first few meetings of the Byberry Friends meeting happened in John Hart's house, and then he coupled together with some people, and they built the one that's out near Thornton and Byberry, same place that the one is at this day. And they built like a wood cabin, and then they made it a little bigger, and then they knocked that one down and they put the one up that they have now, which goes back to the 1700s, I think. Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was the 1700s. I mean, it's so weird. I mean, not weird, I guess, because like it's all in the same area, but like all of my videos are starting to have like connections to each other, and I just find it like so awesome. I mean, of course, like I'd said to my friend earlier today, of course they all have their connections back to William Penn, because William Penn pretty much owned, legally, according to King George over in England, legally owned Pennsylvania, which he gave that to William Penn to settle a debt that he had with William Penn's father. But William Penn came here and he talked to the different Indian tribes, mostly the oh, what was their name? I usually know this, and it's escaping me right now. It's been a long week. Lenape, the Lenape tribe, um, which were indigenous to this area all along the Pequesson Creek. Like, he learned their language and he talked to them and bartered with them to actually buy their land from them, to give them some kind of something that of value to them, where he could buy their land from them. So he was just looking for their respect for that. And yeah, so there's that, but there's other connections after William Penn as well. Let's see, let me catch up here. Are you talking about the one behind the post office before you get to the school, the old white church? I lost track of what we were talking about there, man. To be honest. unless that was in response to this. Check out the old chapel at Aria Hospital. Yeah, the old chapel does go far back, and where what is now Jefferson Hospital used to be Aria, used to be Frankfurt Torresdale campus. That entire area used to belong to the Drexel family. That's where Catherine Drexel grew up. So she was living there at the same time that Edward Morrell was living where John Hancock School is now. That was where his mansion was. So they knew each other. See, it all starts connecting when you look at it. It's off Haunted Lane between the Chamonix Creek and 95. If you're driving northbound on 95, you can see the graveyard if the bushes and trees weren't so clustered. Huh. So it's off Haunted Lane. So it has to be between State Road and 13. I'll tell you what. If you look up my Facebook, this like facebook.com/this is Tom's World, like all one word, no spaces, no punctuation. You can shoot me a message and give me more details about it, and I will definitely check it out. Especially if you can give me like a screenshot of the Google Maps and like pinpoint where it is. I will definitely check that out. Yes, he did. Actually, it's actually believed that the infamous kite flying electricity experiment, even though everybody assumes it happened in Philadelphia, it's actually said that it happened at Groudon Mansion. Benjamin Franklin and his son spent a lot of time at Groudon Mansion. Benjamin Franklin's son was friends with the kids of one of the people that lived at Groudon Mansion at the time. And when you look at the scientific aspect of things, so in order to conduct this experiment with the electricity and the kite and the key and the lightning and the storms, you also need to be near water, which Neshaminy Creek is right there. You also need to be up on a higher hill, which Groudon Mansion is up on a higher hill. And it's been said that that's actually where he did that infamous kite flying electricity experiment. So, yeah, he spent a lot of time in Bensalem, which is why it's called Bensalem. It used to only be called Salem, and then they added Ben to it because of him, which is why when you drive into Bensalem and you see Welcome to Bensalem, you see a picture of Benjamin Franklin with the kite and all that. See, and I just explained that. It's off Bensalem Boulevard, the manor home where he supposed that would be Groudon Mansion, most definitely. Which is another reason why I want to go there, And I've seen some videos on YouTube of people that went there and they did like paranormal investigations and stuff like that, but nobody really did an in-depth video of the inside. Now I don't know if they would prefer I didn't do that, because people pay to get the tour of the inside, but I definitely want to get in there myself because I want to put my hand on that dining room set, knowing that Robert Logan and his family ate off of that dining room set. Now I was totally fanboying when I went to the Bensalem Historical Society the one time, and they brought down this big thing that was wrapped in bubble wrap, and it was a clock that was inside of Robert Logan's house, Sorobia, in the Chamonix State Park. And dude took out like a little knife to cut open the thing. I'm like, no, you don't have to open it. No, I mean, it's fine enough the way it is. No, he's like, no, don't worry about it. We could just reclose it and stuff like that. And he opened it, and I put my hand on it, and I even opened up the face of the clock, and the key to wind the clock is still in there. I said, I wonder if this thing still works. He said it probably does, but we're not going to find out. We're not going to wind it and try to ruin it. But man, I was totally fanboying with that at the time because I was so into the history of Sorobia and Robert Logan, Sarah Logan, Deborah Logan. There's been multiple people over time who have been enthralled with this stuff. There's this guy online. You can find him if you look up Mike Slickster or Mike Bergeron, same guy. He has multiple accounts on different social medias and stuff, and you can find him. he's been enticed with this place for a long time. There's another guy, Mike. I can't remember what his last name is, but he makes music, and he's made music videos based off of the story. It's not the actual story of Sorobia and the Logans, but it's like a fictitious thing that's based off of reality, where he made like music and videos and stuff like that. I was even in one of the videos, and that was an interesting experience. But like people when they come to this place, it just envelops them. The garden at Neshaminy State Park, like it gets in their soul. Let's see where we're at. Lenape, right? I'm pronouncing that right, Lenape, because I've heard other pronunciations of it that don't even come close to what I think it is, but I assume it's Lenape. Well, of course you grew up there. So let's see. Any other suggestions of place within the far northeast area? It doesn't have to be in the far northeast, just in the area. Places to go, like little hidden treasures, things like that, like you may not have seen on my channel. I mean, it doesn't just have to be graveyards. It doesn't even have to be historical. It could just be like some wooded area off the beaten path that most people don't go to. Because I enjoy exploring the woods as well. I mean, as a lot of you might know, I mean, I just go into wooded areas like blind. I don't even know what I'm going to find. I just wander. So any suggestions at all would be very much appreciated, because I definitely intend on making a video tomorrow. I'm going to try to maybe make two so that I have one in the chamber, if it'll fit on my phone, because I do record in ultra high definition, so it takes up a lot of space on my phone, which is another reason why I want to get a GoPro. But so that's another reason to like possibly donate to the channel and stuff like that. It helps me to be able to purchase better equipment to make better videos. But I don't know. There's a lot of places I would like to go to, but I'm hoping that tomorrow I can make at least 2 videos, get one edited and then up by tomorrow night, and then have one in the chamber. Maybe fire it off on Saturday or Sunday, and then Monday I have off too, because I'll be working for my coworker on Saturday, so he's working for me on Monday. So maybe I can get another 2 videos then, and then I can fire off one on Monday and still have one in the chamber, so that we can get more videos out. Let's see what we got going here. Where's my? There it is. Couldn't find my cursor. I kept moving my mouse and it wasn't there. Nights in Comley. you're not the first person tonight to to misspell Comley as comfy. This guy right here, when he was texting me, he said, "Yeah, we're at Comfy Road," and then he said Comley. So I assume you said Nights in Comley. The woods that are right next to the fire station there at Nights in Comley, I do want to get in there. I want to go into those woods and walk all the way back to Decatur Road just to see what's in there, because I've never really gone through those woods. I don't expect to find much in there, but just to explore it, I would like to do that, because I have done Decatur Road. On the other side of Decatur Road from there is the old Decatur Road Bridge, which goes back quite a ways. And you can check that video out. I've made that one in the last couple months sometime. But I would still like to get through those woods. Yeah. Yeah, and I told you, Chris, but I still want to get to that island that's just north of Neshaminy State Park, going up towards the Burlington-Bristol Bridge. I can't remember what it's called. Whatever that area of Jersey is right there, Burlington. So, well, obviously Burlington, Bristol, Burlington Island. I definitely want to get on there. But I think I heard from a fellow YouTuber that you need permission to go on there from the person that owns it. So I have to look into that. But I definitely want to get on there because there was an old amusement park on there, and they donated some of their rides to Willow Grove Park, which eventually became Willow Grove Mall as it is now. And I believe they donated their merry-go-round to Seaside Heights, which is still there to this day. And you can still see the area where that was that carousel. So you're very right. It still is Cornwall Heights, Andalusia. There's a bunch of different little towns within Bensalem until you get up to Humeville. Now Humeville is no longer Bensalem at that point. It's still Bucks County, but it's not Bensalem. Humeville is a township on its own, which I've done some videos there, and that's another place I want to go back to. There's some areas I want to check out over there and have videos of. Yeah, definitely. I would love to get to Burlington Island. I mean, I know it's a little bit infested with some critters and snakes and stuff like that, but I don't think it's anything all that dangerous. So it's an island in the middle, well, not the middle, but closer to the Jersey side of the Delaware, and it has a lake in it. So imagine that, an island in a river that has a lake. That's kind of like Inception kind of thing. Crazy. Really? So where you were living with your parents, that was considered Cornwall Heights? I mean, I would think it's just considered Bensalem because Cornwall Heights is mostly on Bristol Pike, and where you were was closer to like Neshaminy Inn, like the other side of Benjamin Rush, right? Which is why you knew Benjamin Rush so well, how to find the ruins of the sewage treatment plant in the 70s. Really, I wonder how the hell they established that was Cornwall Heights, because Cornwall Heights actually used to be called oh my, I'm trying to think of the name of it, something with an H, like the train station right there on Street Road, where you can go down from Street Road down the steps and all that. I'm trying to think of what the name of that is. It's escaping me right now. But that's what like Neshaminy State Park was considered, that area as well. But now it's just called Bensalem. Yeah, I just can't remember what the name of it was. Wait a minute, Eddington. Yeah, it wasn't with an H. It was E. It was Eddington. I had to remember with the E house. But yeah, that whole area was considered Eddington, and then yours was like in a different direction where you lived. So it's really weird how things have changed over the years. I'm still really proud of this. Thank you so much, Ricky and Tina. I love it. I really do. It may not be perfectly centered over my head when I turn one way or another, but I tried to get it centered in the picture. Nottingham. Yeah. Yeah, where you were was more Nottingham because that was like the area between the Boulevard and Street Road. Well, as you said. Um yeah. I mean, there's even the Nottingham fire station is still there, and it still says Nottingham on it. And that's more on Street Road. Oh, you mean across the street from what is now a church and used to be a movie theater? But see, you can't really go that far there because off to the right there's like the Pequesson Creek, right? When you go into that area, so off to the right you have the Pequesson Creek, and then it turns in a little and then goes off to the right, off into Parkwood. But then there's like a little offset from that goes off to the left, and then it goes out towards a road over there, which I forget what road it was. Um, so you're really limited as to where you go. And on the other side of that offset, it's just like a bunch of really tall weeds. Um, and then that goes off and becomes like the woods over by like Torrey Road, and Academy, um, where the crater is, which I still continue to get flack for, because when I went into those woods over at Torrey and Academy and I called it the crater, I went everywhere but where the actual crater was, and I'm still getting flack from that to this day on Facebook. Yeah, yeah, right across Knights Road from Franklin Mills, like where the old movie theater was, which is now a church. That's the place you're talking about, right? Where when I first went in, there was that old cesspool or whatever it is now, and then there was like 3 or 4 stairs like up on a hill, and I did see piles of concrete and stones, which did look like old chimneys and stuff. I just didn't put that in the video because that's all it was. $0.50 a cup. Wow. I'd have attended that party. 50 cents for a little solo cup. 1962. I wasn't even born yet. I still had 13 years to go before I was born. So yeah, I wasn't around then. I was born in 75. But I would have definitely attended that party. Wow, Lee just sent me like a book of a message. I'll read that, Lee. just not just not right now, you know. Um, but I will definitely read that when I'm done this. And I see that you're suggesting something too, so thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. So yeah, I'm aware of the village that was partially on what is now the Far Northeast Airport, um, and I do intend on doing a video there at some point. Um, I'm aware of the graveyard, the little graveyard on 13 in Cornwall Heights. That's been suggested to me a couple times. Somebody, so this past week, somebody I talked to had mentioned that somewhere in Bristol near a water treatment plant, um, that there are tombstones or headstones that are constantly underwater. Like not constantly, but like depending on how the tide goes in and out, that they are underwater, and it's in Bristol. So if anybody knows anything about those, definitely feel free to go to facebook.com/this is Tom's World. Send me a message if you have pictures, if you have any information, let me know. I am intending on checking that out because it sounds kind of cool. It's kind of like how underneath the Betsy Ross Bridge, there are a bunch of headstones there. So there was this graveyard in Philly, and Temple bought the land. Temple College, they bought the land to make their parking lot for whatever, because they were like right next door. And when they did that, so they moved the bodies, kind of poltergeist esque kind of feeling. They move the bodies. I got a feeling they just moved the headstones because a lot of them were like really old. Same thing like over in Fleur Park on Grand Ave. That used to be like a whole big Catholic thing, and then Catherine Drexel had something to do with that. And they had a graveyard in there, which Edward Morel was in that graveyard, as well as a bunch of nuns and stuff. But they went back hundreds of years, and they said they moved all the graves. Now, if somebody's been in the ground for hundreds of years, how much really is there to move? Would it be easier to just move the headstone to somewhere else, or actually dig them up and try to get, you know what I mean? So they took these headstones, and apparently they moved the bodies to a different cemetery, gave them new headstones. And these old headstones they put underneath the Betsy Ross Bridge to be like a breaker for the waves and stuff like that. I eventually do want to get there, but there have been other YouTubers that have done it in recent years, so I'm letting some time go by before I do it. Let me catch up on comments here. 1962. You talking about Burlington Island, I would assume. I didn't know that there was still some defunct stations. I mean, I know that somewhere in Philly that they have, like, I think it's off of the Bridge Street exit, that they have like a SEPTA bus / trolley graveyard that you can go to, and I don't think it's like private property. But I didn't know that there were still some stations that were just abandoned. Ugh, Pats. Pats and Genos. Any self-respecting Philadelphian doesn't eat there. I'm just saying. That's for the tourists. Yeah, I've seen some graveyards which have been turned into like playgrounds and stuff like that. And I actually saw over in Pittsburgh, probably back in 2007, 2008, 2006, somewhere in there. I was at a co-ed baby shower, and there was it was in a church in the basement, and right next to this place there was a graveyard. In the middle of the graveyard there was a playground. I took a picture of it and I called it Where the Dead Play. A lot of years ago, but it's very strange how those two things intersect like that. Anyway, what's up, Michael? How you doing? So for anybody new coming in, if you have any suggestions of places within the far northeast area for me to check out, do a video of, if it's historical or even if it's just like a wooded area and it's cool, definitely let me know. If you don't want to let me know here on the live feed, you can always go check it out on facebook.com/thisistomsworld, all one word, no punctuation, no spaces, anything like that. And you can shoot me a message and let me know there, and I will definitely put it on my list. I do already have like a list. Most of it's up here. Some of it's in a file on my computer. Places I would like to go at some point. I am intending on spreading out my my efforts. Like I'm not gonna just be local. I'm gonna try to go out a little further. Like I would like to go to Upper Bucks County. There's some places up there. There's a castle. I can't remember what the hell the name of it is off the top of my head, but a lot of the interior is made up of tiles and stuff like that. There's Ringing Rock. I would love to go there and do a video there. A lot of people have done that online, but still, I would like to check it out for myself. They have some really beautiful falls up there. I mean, all over Pennsylvania, New Jersey. There's so many beautiful places that I could go check out, even if they don't have a history. just to have videos of it would be great. But if anybody has any suggestions, as it has been all along here, just let me know. I appreciate every suggestion. Sorry, I'm getting a little dried out. I think I take a sip of water instead of the beer. Wah. Rich, what is up, my friend? How are you? I was actually talking about you earlier because somebody brought up the little village in over by the airport, so I brought you up as well. Off of Byberry, yeah, right near where Byberry Road has that old little rickety bridge that goes over the train tracks you're talking about, right? Like those woods off to the, like, say if you were coming from the boulevard up Byberry towards Bustleton, the woods that are off to the left right before the firehouse, right? That's been on my list since I started. I just have not got there yet because there was actually a racing track that was there. I don't know if it was horse racing or dog racing, but even on Google Maps, when you go there and you look, you can still see that oval. And it's said that there are still some remnants of the stands there. So I would like to get there and do that. Most definitely. Yeah, it's probably like you can't even see it anymore. It's probably like got inches and inches of dirt on top of it. I did not talk about Fort Mifflin yet. It's definitely somewhere I would like to get, and I've had some friends that went there. I have some from friend. I can talk. I swear. I have some friends in the paranormal field who have been there for like overnight investigations and stuff. So they do know the people that run it. So maybe I can have an in to go there on my own during the day or something. But I definitely would love to go there and make some videos of that as well. Yeah, behind the firehouse. Yeah. So if you go on to Google Maps and you look at the aerial shot, you can actually see at least most of the oval. And somebody had actually contacted me and said part of that oval flows right into the backyard of the house that they grew up in. So, I mean, it's definitely on my list. I am getting in there at some point, hopefully before things get overgrown. But we'll see. If not this year, then maybe next. Northeast Village. Yeah, just some roads left, like what concrete asphalt type roads, and that's some of them are on the outside of the fence, some of them are on the inside. I think most of them are on the inside. Like only a small portion are on the outside. Right, Rich? I believe. Anyway, I'm probably going to wrap this up because at this point I've been going for an hour and almost 10 minutes, which is a little bit longer than I usually go. I mean, I've gone about this long before, um, and I hate to end it seeing that there's 12 people in here. Philadelphia Quartet Golf Course gone. Where was the Philadelphia Quartet Golf Club Golf Course? Where was that at? And I can tell you. I can almost picture the name of it, so I know I've passed it. Oh, the merch? Yes, Alex. Actually, here you go. Bam. Click on that, or just copy it and paste it, and put it in the new browser. My merch shop is up, so you can go purchase stuff: t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, aprons, pillows, like all kinds of stuff with my logo on it. They're up there, so definitely go check that out and purchase whatever you like. I know I'll be making some purchases on there myself. I want a hat. I want the pillow. It's like a square pillow, and it's really cool looking with the logo on it. A couple other things I'd like. So some water bottles and stuff. That way I have them over at work at the Chamonix, and there'll be no question about whose it is. Let's see. They put next to them, or they put most of them next to the DMV in Ben Salem. They forgot they were there. And they were built, and they built that strip mall. Oh yeah. I did hear about there being a burial ground back there. Somebody had recently talked to me about that. Wow, my hair is really out of control. Yeah, I did hear about that. Oh yeah. Southampton Road, the Quartet Club. Yeah, that's where that. So if you were coming from the boulevard going down Southampton Road, it's on the right, and that's where the old pool was, which is now all overgrown and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like over that area. Yeah, I remember that now. I used to pass by that like every day because I used to drive the Warminster. I worked for the Burpee Seed Company for 11 years, so every week for 5 days a week, I drove by there. That's the way I took. I would take Southampton Road out the street road and then make the left up. Yep. Yeah, I don't even know what they're doing with that now. It doesn't seem like they're doing anything. It's just like I think there's stuff growing out of the pool at this point, like bushes and stuff like that. Last time I went by, it's been a little while. It's crazy. Anyway, so as I was saying before, I think I'm going to wrap this up because now it's been an hour and almost 13 minutes, and I am a little tired. I had a rough day today or a rough week this week. In the last week or so over at the Chamonix State Park, we put in 50 trees, like 50 new trees. So the holes had to be dug. We had to put them in. We had to refill them. We had to reposition them. I was the one in charge of watering all the stuff and everything. So it's Rich can attest to that because he came up to me when I was watering one of the groups of trees that we put in a few days ago. Yesterday we put in the last 9 that we had of the 50. So we've done a good thing. We're preserving nature, and Langhorne Speedway. There's not much left of Langhorne Speedway. I've looked into it and I've watched videos of people who went there like years ago, and even then there wasn't much left to say. To say anything. Like there was some concrete, but you couldn't really make anything out. So I don't know if it's really worth it. I mean, I could still try. It doesn't mean I can't try. I can still do it, but just know there's not much of that left. Let's see, what are new small trees across from the gardens at Benjamin? So you mean across from the gardens and next to the bathroom? Those trees were put in 2 years ago. They're not doing all that great, to be honest. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they weren't watered regularly. And really, in the end, they're just like a pain in the butt to mow around. Some of them are still alive. Some of them are far past being alive. But yeah. Hey, look, I can't help it that you just got here. I gave everybody an hour's notice on my Facebook page for This Is Tom's World, saying, look, it was 7:30. I'm like, I'll be on at 8:30. It's not my fault that it took you this long to get here. I'm just saying. So I don't have to make up for it. If you want to make up for being late, you could always do a super chat like down in here, that little dollar sign, or you could go to my merch shop and buy some stuff. You know, I put the link there. It's in the description down below here and stuff. So yeah, I'm just saying, I can turn it right back around on you, Rich, you know. Yeah, they're definitely inhaling a lot of the pollution from there, as is the park, like from people just throwing their trash there, and the wind blows all the trash right into the park. It's a lot of fun. I know they do. As soon as I'm saying I'm going to go, and then all of a sudden the like I see the numbers go up of people attending and people commenting and stuff. I think I've said for what, the last 20 minutes, like, all right, well, I'm going to go, and all of a sudden there's more people, so I keep going. I have to entertain, right? Oh man. But you know, there comes a time where you just have to say, all right, we're done. And then, and, you know, and then it's there for the other people. And the Sesame Street water tower was what? See, I actually got a comment on that video. So when I post a video, I don't just rely on YouTube alone. I post it to different groups on Facebook. So if it's a Ben Salem related video, I post it to all the Ben Salem groups. If it's a Northeast Philadelphia video, I post it to all the different Northeast Philly groups. One of the groups I belong to is for a local neighborhood, Parkwood, and I'm sure most people know, you know, where Parkwood is and stuff. And as I mentioned earlier, I did a video in Parkwood, in the Torrey Woods, right by Torrey Road and Academy Roads, and I labeled it the Crater. Okay, and the crater was a particular part of the woods. Now, I didn't know this because I didn't hang out in those woods. I wasn't from Parkwood. I didn't really like hanging in Parkwood back when I was a kid because, you know, I was a dude with that had long hair, like a lot longer than this, and Parkwood just wasn't a place to be when you were a metalhead, and back in the early '90s, and so I didn't know where the crater was. The entire woods looked like a crater, like it was all sunken in and stuff like that. So I didn't know, and I went everywhere but where the area is that they call the crater, and I have received so much flack about that from people, particularly from the Parkwood group. And when I did that Sesame Place water tower, I posted it in all groups: Ben Salem, Croydon, Northeast Philly, because we've all driven past it. We've all used it as a landmark at some point. You know, tell somebody like, all right, go up 95 until you hit the Sesame Place water tower, which part of that is now 295, which is still weird to get used to. But, you know, go up there, and then when you see the water tower, go up one or two exits, whatever it is, and then get off there and blah, blah, blah. And now it's going away forever. So I captured it on video, and I called it Iconic Landmark. And one dude was like, iconic? He said, that whole place should be taken down as far as I'm concerned. He said, but frankly, I'm surprised that you found it and you didn't just walk around everywhere around it and not find that like you did with the crater. It's like, come on, man. Just let it go. You know, I made a mistake in one video. You know, I mean, who wants to be reminded of one mistake you made over and over and over and over and over? But, you know, I digress. You know, it's at least people are watching the video, right? Got to look on the bright side. Let's see. It's a possibility. I mean, it doesn't have to be Zoom. What I'm using right now, this thing right here, the StreamYard, I have the ability to have up to, what is it? I think like somewhere between 6 or 8 people in a backstage chat where it's not like live or anything like that, and we could all hang out. everybody on webcams and stuff like that. So I could do it on there, or I could do it on Zoom. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I could do that. I could schedule like live hangouts where we go to the garden over at Chamonix State Park. We hang out. I give everybody a tour. I can show them where everything was, like the mansion, the carriage house, the barn, all that stuff. And then maybe go to Curran's afterwards for a couple beers or something. You know, I mean, I could always do that. These are always things that have been in my mind and been suggested to me over time. So yeah. But anyway. So now we're at an hour and 20 minutes. Still getting comments. Wait. I don't do drone shots because mainly I don't have a drone. And the one time I tried to operate one, I wasn't doing too well with it. It's not as easy as it seems, but like in the state parks and stuff like that, you're not allowed. You know, it's just not possible. Otherwise, I would have had drone shots of the garden. But someday I'll get there. If I can generate enough money for my channel between the super chats, super thanks, and stuff like that, and my my merch shop, which the link is down in the description of this video. If I can generate enough money, I will get some drones. I will start to practice and get better with them and stuff like that, and I will incorporate that in my videos. But for the time being, I don't do that now. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the garden, I'm very knowledgeable about the whole area of Sorobia. I've done a lot of research. I've read a lot of books, um, a lot of just a lot of information about it. So it's all up here, and I can tell you all about it if we happen to do like a live tour of it. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here because it's an hour and 22 minutes, and I'm tired. And I want to shut this other light off here. The only reason I have it up there, and you'll notice it's brighter, is so that this was more highlighted, because without it you couldn't really see what that said. And I'm still ecstatic about this. Thank you so much, Ricky and Tina. Anyway, so I'll see you all in my next video. Make sure you all stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. And I will be talking to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.